And we're live. Hey everyone, I'm Marco. I'm one of the founders at the Firehose project and a code mentor here, and I run you through our info session today. So first, outline. What are we going to do? What are we going to talk about? First, we want to talk about why we do this, right? Why software engineering? Why does it make sense? What's the demand out in the market, in the industry? How is our society changing? Why are people learning how to code, and why does it matter so much, and why does it matter to you? Then I want to dive into the program, right? What's our bootcamp prep course like? A lot of you who are watching right now are actually coding in that, so I want to talk about that a little bit for everyone who's not yet in there. And then I want to talk about the full program, right? All about fermenters, the web applications, our algorithms, data structure, our agile team project, our job track, job optimization, search track that we're having, and then also answer your questions. So if you have any questions, email them to me. A few of you already emailed me, which is awesome. Put them into the box next to the YouTube videos. One of the sides next to me. Put your questions in there, and I'll grab them at the end and answer them. All right, let's dive right in. What are we talking about today, right? Why are we doing this? Why software engineering? Why does it so make sense? And I think there's two reasons for it. And the first one is that web development, software engineering, that's an extremely in-demand field, right? It is growing. There's a lot of demand out there. If we're looking at companies, how they're reshaping how we're doing things, right? If you're looking at Airbnb, how people are renting out their homes, how people come together, how strangers get invited into the house. If you're looking at like the cutting edge, if you're looking at SpaceX, trying to get people living on Mars, and guess who writes the controlling software for the rockets, for the booster? These are software engineers, right? So software is literally eating the world, and the demand for it is huge. There's hundreds of thousands of open jobs just in the US alone, and worldwide even more. Now, having those in-demand skills for an industry that is not only growing, but actually has a lot of opening today is key to being part of it. So getting those skills, that's why you're here listening to me, and that's why I'm telling you how our program is going to work. But I think there's a second, I'd say almost equally important, if not more important part of it, and that's an extremely fulfilling profession, right? Building tools for people so they can have a better life is amazing, and being at the core of that and building and writing code and building features every single day is extremely fulfilling and makes people extremely happy. It certainly makes me happy building features that then I get like hundreds, thousands of thumbs up and like, this is awesome, this makes my life so much better. So extremely fulfilling and in demand, and that's kind of that winning combo, and that's why I think a lot of people flock to its software engineering, web development, and that's, I hope, why you're here, because you're looking to be in demand and you want to have fulfilling careers. That's what we're doing here. Now let's dive into the program, right? So the first 2 weeks, our introduction course, our bootcamp prep course. In that course, we have you build a portfolio page, right? We want your name, your bio, your picture. We want to show some coding challenges that you already complete while you're in the intro course, and we built that portfolio page so you can showcase who you are, and you can use that actually for the job hunt already if you wanted to, or to maybe get some freelance work for yourself. Then we also have you build several coding, solve several coding challenges, write some scripts, execute them, put on your programmer's head, and write Ruby code. And we review all of them, right? Our intro course is built for you to do and then get feedback. So you're always submitting things, we're reviewing it, we're giving you thumbs up, we give you feedback on how to do it better. And if you ever get stuck, we have our support forum that's dedicated below our intro course, below our prep course, below each lesson. You can ask a question and we help you as fast as possible. All of that is free. It's our way to not only helping you out, getting an intro into this field, but also making sure that we can help you, we can engage, and that you're ready for our full program. Now, the full program, there's two different options, 22 weeks versus 44 weeks, and I can talk about that a little bit later as well. But the materials that we're having, that's in those programs, that's what I want to talk about. And in the full program, we have kind of like two tracks. The one track is our web application development, the web apps that we're building. The other one is the algorithms and the data structures track, right? That's where the advanced coding challenges are. And then at the end, these two tracks kind of like merge together and prepare and make you be in a position where you're ready to join our agile team project and build something the same way it's done in the real world. Now, let's start with the web development track and that path where you're building web apps. What do we do there? Pretty simple app. It's a quote generating app. You take a quote, store it in a database, display it randomly on the homepage. We wrap that into a mobile first design so it looks good on all kinds of devices, from mobile phones to desktop, tablets, anything in between. And then we put a good design on it, and it's a pretty simple app. But what's happening is, like, you understand how the web application frameworks, Rails and the Ruby language, how to interact together. You understand model view controller, the architecture, you interact with the database, use Git, GitHub, you push that live to a server, and you do that within the first week, right? And that's something that opens up a lot of doors where, like, oh, these are all the pieces fit together. Next, we crank up the level of difficulty a little bit, and we build a Yelp clone. That's all about locations specific application, where our goal is to get pins on maps, right? So we take addresses that a user enters in our application, translate that address into longitude and latitude coordinates, and then map API to get a pin on the map. And obviously that wouldn't be a really fancy application, so we need to add additional features to it, right? User registration, login, logout, users comments, star rating, automated email notifications. We build a user dashboard, build a home page. We have image uploading, right? All of that packed together is a fully functional web application, and that will take you several weeks to build. Lots of challenge sections in that app as well, but that's something that is, like, a lot more complex than the app we've done before. Next, we're building a two-sided marketplace. And when I say two-sided marketplace, what we're using there is we have instructors on one side and we have students on the other side. And the students can choose courses that the instructors are building on your platform and purchase them. And when I say purchase, that already means we need to accept credit cards as they flow through our platform. So we need to be able to process debit and credit cards and have money flow through our platform. So students then can purchase these courses and get full access to them, depending on which one they purchase, depending on which one they just have preview rights to it. And that makes it a lot more complex, because now we got to go deep into our database and track which student has access to what, how does the money flow through our platform, who gets a cut, right? Does the instructor get a cut of the money? Does the actual owner of the platform get a cut of the money as well? Which student can access which courses? Are there new courses coming out? What are the prices? So it makes it nice and complex, and we're dealing with a lot of real-world features in there too. Next up, we're gonna crank it up a notch and start introducing test-driven development. Quick zoom out what that is, right? As software engineers, we never wanna manually click around to make sure that our features, our tools that we're building are working. We're writing automated tests to do that work for us, and that's software testing. And test-driven development is flipping that on its head, where we first build features and first write tests and then build features. It's the industry standard. You need to know that in order to ship any product, ship anything live, build anything together with a team like it's done in the real world. That's why we're teaching that to you, so you can write these automated software tests. So you're not the one who's trying to manually click 1,000 buttons, make sure your feature didn't break anything else, or works properly on the application that you just shipped that on. Up next, we're diving into JavaScript, right? So far, we've done a lot of Ruby and Rails, and now we need to add a second programming language on top of that, where we build an entire web application with nothing else but JavaScript. Now, that will teach you to deep dive into JavaScript, so you understand that programming language really well, but it also teaches you, on top of that, how to integrate JavaScript into existing Rails applications so you can improve the user interface and user experience in your existing apps, and we have lessons for that as well. These are kind of the web apps that we're building throughout our web application track. Now, in parallel, we have all our students go through our algorithms and data structures tracks, right? These are coding challenges, and if you think about what you're doing in the intro course, that's an extension of it, right? The intro course challenges where we solve, like, Fahrenheit temperature conversion challenges, building these kind of scripts out. These are actually go all the way to, like, sorting algorithms or search algorithms that we're building in that track, and they build upon each other and they get more and more complex. A lot of those help people for the technical interview, right? If you want to land a job, you're going to be going through technical interviews that are asked a lot of times. A lot of them are computer science based, so you get a lot of that value as well. But then you also, like, have the practical application of being able to write advanced Ruby code by going through these coding challenges that we have in our algorithm track. Now, these two paths you're going through in parallel and then emerge together, and you end up in the Agile Team Project. The Agile Team Project is a full 8 weeks of working together with other students, working with your mentor. You get an additional mentor who acts as the CTO or the VP of engineering through this program, and you build an advanced web applications the way it's done in the real world, right? There's a saying, and that's true today, and it will be true tomorrow. The best applications are built by amazing teams, and we want to make sure you know how to be part of an amazing team. So in the Agile Team Project, right, working just like in the real world, we have one of our senior developers run your group just like they would run a web development team at their current work, be it at Shopify, Salesforce, eBay, PayPal, wherever our mentors are from, where they're working as well, and where they're running teams. They'll run you exactly they run your team exactly the same way as they would do it there, and you get that industry experience by going through that team. Now, what we're building is a chess game inside a Rails application, and a lot of people tell me, "Oh, chess game, come on, Marco, that's not that exciting." But I always tell them, like, actually, it is, because we talk to technical recruiters, we talk to senior developers, CTOs, VP of engineering, and all these companies, our mentors, and outside of that, and we ask them, what would be of interest to you? What would you consider challenging or exciting if somebody who's in an interview for a position at your company would say they built together as a team? And we had a lot of back and forth, and when we suggested a chess game, they're like, oh wow, that's really good, because if I just think about how many rules there are in a chess game and how to write that in code, I can see the challenge of making that work, right? So we're thinking about all the different pieces, how are they moving, all the different rules that can be enforced. How do you automatically check for checkmate? That's a discussion we can have on a technical level, developer to developer, right? And in an interview, that is really important, that you have these type of discussions where you can show how good you actually are on a coding level. Now, on top of that, what technical hiring managers and senior web developers are looking for in new hires is the ability to be a team player and work on a team. And proving that you've already worked on a team for full 8 weeks when you apply to a job shows that you're a high impact employee that can hit the ground running from day one. And that's exactly the position you want to be at. And that's what our Agile Team Project helps you to be in. You know how to write advanced code, you know how to be a team player, you know how to work as part of an amazing team. That's a pretty big competitive advantage that you have over other people who do not know how to write algorithms and integrate them into to build advanced web applications, which is the bread and butter. You also know how to do test-driven development and write your software tests, so you have that covered as well. And now you also know how to work together as a team, just like it's done in the real world. So these are our two paths, right? You going through the building a lot of web applications, you're doing a lot of algorithms, and then they converge, they merge together, and you start the Agile Team Project to understand how things are built in the real world and get that experience that really sets you apart when you apply for a job. Now, that's the core program, and now we have the whole job search optimization track. That's another 58 lessons. We launched it several weeks ago. And we actually talked to a lot of recruiters from places like HubSpot, a huge company coming out of MIT. They just IPO'd. DoorDash, another company that raised millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars, and several recruiters more now, senior web developers. And we asked them, what matters? And we took all that knowledge and packed it into those lessons. And then we applied a sales process to it, right? So we give all of you a funnel where you actually go through, look for the right jobs. How do I find the right jobs? How do I get a list, a target, a hit list of all the best jobs that I want? And then how to apply for them, offline, online, through in-person meetings, right? All these different strategies. And then getting it down to you actually getting the interviews and then nailing the interviews and preparing you for that, not only on a hard skill, but also on a soft skill, how to present yourself, how to show up, what kinds of questions to ask, and then the technical skills from all the way to algorithms, the coding challenge, to the computer science fundamentals, and then to actually closing these sales by getting job offers and picking the right job, because not each job is not the same. There's a lot of quality differences between them. That's pretty much the program as we have it right now. Now, want to see your question, want to hear your question. I know I already got a few, so I'm going to check in and see what we have here. You always get some of the similar questions each session, so let me jump in and quickly look at the If you received any in the YouTube channel, here, trying to pull up that page and check my inbox as well. Cool, there's some. I got some emails. Didn't get anything on YouTube channel. Totally fine if you want to email me. All right, so questions that we get is like one that we are teaching algorithms as well. Johnny emailed me. Yep, we do that as well, right? We have an entire track dedicated to algorithms. So yes, we're teaching algorithms as well. As I said before, we're teaching web application development and algorithms in parallel, and then they converge, and you actually go into our Agile team project. So that's a core pillar of what we're doing, is teaching you how to write advanced code and how to get really good at Ruby and also JavaScript. How long have you been doing this? We started out by teaching hundreds of students in-person classes, and that was over 3 years ago. We taught at Harvard, at Carnegie Mellon, at Babson, at Rhode Island School of Design, Brown University, many more. We taught hundreds of students in the classroom. We did a lot of learning in the classroom. How do people actually understand complex, advanced technical materials? And we took all that knowledge and packed it into our online learning platform. And that's what you're seeing today. So when people tell us, wow, everything just seems to be clicking with Firehose, that is because our entire platform is engineered around making things click for you, understanding the complexity of building web applications, algorithms, and giving you the right piece of information at the moment when you need the most. So that's why we say that our platform is engineered to make things click for you. Good question. Have you taught at Harvard? Yeah, I just said that. We taught at many universities, Harvard Business School. I'm one of them, Babson, #1 entrepreneurial school in the country. So a lot of fun doing that. Used all that knowledge, put it into our platform. Let's see. What's the difference between you and other programs? I usually answer that. 3 things. Depth of curriculum. I don't see anyone who teaches you algorithm, test-driven development, has an 8-week dedicated agile team project. We actually get paired with another mentor. That's huge. The other thing is our mentors, right? I said Shopify, Salesforce, many other. Gotta sneeze. Live. We always gotta go live for our info sessions. Sorry about that. There are many senior web developers who work at Shopify, eBay, PayPal, Salesforce, and they are taking you under their wing and help you to get from one level of coding to the next one. It's like a step gradient. Every time you go to a mentorship session, you should come out a lot smarter, and a lot of doors should be open, and a lot of things should be explained to you. We usually pair programming during mentorship sessions and solve algorithms together, build additional features on top of what you've already built. And that's possible because of our support system that goes into that, our Slack channel, our Q&A forums. So whenever you're stuck, you have some place to ask for help. So you never spin your wheels for very long, and you're always progressing towards being error-free and learning rather than being stuck. So second one is the difference in the mentors that we have, all senior web developers with years of experience. Then I also say our community, right? Hundreds of students helping each other out, always been online, always been active, running virtual conferences and lightning talks where they teach each other, they study in study groups. They're on our community page, they're on our private community pages and our Slack channels. There's a lot going on, and that is also what makes things really, really amazing, that helping out and giving back attitude of our Firehose community. I think that were some of the questions. Let's see if I got anything else. I think that was pretty much it. All right. Glad you guys showed up. Watch the info session. If there's any other questions you have, you should have all received an email from me. Just reach out. Happy to answer them. In the intro course, I suggest you sign up. Let us review a code, help you out, give you feedback, and get you to that first level of on the track to becoming a senior software engineer. Thumbs up. Thanks so much for coming, and I see everyone next time. Bye now.